Hello, welcome to the first episode of the Late Night Catch.
What's up, internet?
We got some Ben here, we got some Paul, and some Will, and myself. So, this show, it's gonna be about pretty much everything in Black Desert, but just with the focus on fishing, as you can tell from the title.
Because clearly this is all we do in this game is fish.
Yeah, I'll just... First of all...
this was just a fish simulator.
Kinda. We've been, like, just fishing since we played this game. We, like, leveled up, and then just fish happened.
Okay, let's be real. I got to level 40, and then stopped playing.
And you are now 46.
I
only
am.
made it to 37.
I mean, like, I've grinded, I've quested a lot. Like, I'm definitely the furthest behind in fishing. I mean, like, what's everyone's fishing level right now?
I'm only skilled 1, I think.
Yeah, only skilled 1. That's cute. Go ahead, Paul.
I'm skilled 7.
Oh, that's disgusting. And Will, who was on the leaderboard yesterday.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, Will
Don't worry, I'll
forgot,
talk about it for you. Let's take a look, shall we?
Will kind of forgot how to, like, do anything else.
Will blacked out for 3 days.
He... Okay, one thing I want to talk about.
You've got down. You're rank 7 and you're skilled 10. You're a piece of shit.
One thing I want to talk about is the existence of the fish hotspots, which a lot of people that like are into fishing probably know about already, but at least look at those fucking guys going by. Hey, what's up?
Dudes.
A lot of people probably
over
know
here
about
to
it
fish
already, but when I started fishing, and I'm sure a lot of like new fishers don't know about that, and it might make like a huge difference in like where you look, because we just like were fishing at spots for like hours, getting just like garbage, and we're just like, oh, it'll get better. It didn't get better.
No.
Okay, so what are the ways to know that you're at a hotspot if you're fishing? There's there's no trash items, I know that. Like none at all, because we found one, not gonna say exactly where it is, but that doesn't exist. It's just whites, but mostly rares and blues, or yellows and blues.
Definitely when you see a large influx where you're regularly catching green tier fish is a very big sign.
Yep.
Because even if you catch 6 to 10 in a row, each of those is still, a substantial amount of silver.
And not all of those hotspots are like in the ocean. It's something to think about, because like if you find one that's somewhere like on inland, like at a lake or at a river, and you're really close to like a trader, that might even be just worth it to stay at that one and just use the really quick like money turnaround to just fucking power level yourself into fishing godliness.
And hotspots do change.
Yes.
There are static hotspots that will generally be there forever, we think. But
No. The devs on the Korean forums, I believe, came out and said that they manually pick hotspots.
Oh, they manually do it?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
my fishing minigame just made me spell ass.
It might be off because it was a translation, but for the most part, yeah, we're pretty sure they manually choose like hotspots and then they rotate them, or just change them. Like we'll see if our super secret spot is still good after the patch tonight.
Yeah, seriously. Like,
And it better be, or I'm gonna cry, because that was like 500,000 gold every time I woke up, or silver. I'm sorry, 500,000 silver every time I woke up, and 500,000 silver when I got home from work.
What was everyone's maximum legendary count for one bag's worth?
I had the 12 yesterday was my highest.
I think 12, maybe 13.
Yeah.
I know for sure I got 12.
I think mine's only about 10 from that spot. And
Yeah,
like,
but that was also AFK fishing.
You want to talk about it, Will?
yeah. Let's hear Will's thoughts on that.
Just my thoughts on what?
How many yellows have you gotten from our special place, which is a hotspot?
In one run, my record's 18. I actually
You guys-
screenshot it.
Oh,
That's disgusting.
18, you fucking asshole.
that is a lot.
Wow.
So, as you guys can tell, when you find a hotspot, things get hot.
And I don't have shit for bag space. That was a short ass run.
Yeah, you should probably do some co-op quests, Paul, or Will. That's your name.
No, I've been working on it.
Unfortunately, our colleague Will has his Black Spirit chain bug, and he hasn't been able to get any more inventory slots. So until his quest line is fixed.
How many inventory slots do you actually have?
37. I maxed out. I had 34 last night, and I did one other quest I didn't do. But I actually haven't heard from my Black Spirit. He's been rather quiet ever since the Delphi Castle. I think he might be on vacation.
Maybe he's just a little disgusted with how much you fish.
Yeah.
I would be.
I'm not. I'm proud of it.
Like a
Speaking
disappointed
of,
father that
we're
just
actually proud.
pops out of his son's life.
Speaking of gold from fishing, how much does everyone think that they've actually pulled? Probably about to say, I don't know, 5-6 days we've been doing this now.
Yeah. Yeah, okay,
5
this
days.
hotspot has been there for like 5 to 6 days, first of all. So, like, they last a while. It's not just like a 1 or 2 day. I don't know, maybe some of them are really short, and maybe some of them are really better, like, much more valuable and profitable, but just like a short amount of time.
For sure when this one dies. I mean, God rest its soul if that time ever comes. And then once we find another one after that.
I'm dreading that because I kind of had a panic attack when it went down to fucking average for like an hour.
The spot pranked us pretty hard.
I literally had to take a smoke break at work when I saw that text message. I stepped away for a minute.
What I felt like the scene in the Titanic where the band stays together, the violinist, and just as the water gets to them, they turn to each other and just, it's been a pleasure playing with you tonight.
But then it was just like, just kidding,
They
guys.
did 2 hours later, the prank was over, and I went back up to abundant.
Like, okay, I don't want to come off as like dicks, like saying that this spot exists, but like we're not gonna like tell you where it is, dude. I just want to assure like the new fishers that they really do exist. We just don't want to disclose them because then they'll like get shot down to nothingness, and you know.
There are diamonds in the rough.
Fucking business, dude.
And
There's a
What
lot
I
of hot spots.
Yes.
what I would encourage is just try fishing at a lot of spots. I actually stumbled across this spot. I was fishing at the same body of water at a different spot, and it wasn't very good. I was still catching trash items. I was still hardly catching any blues and yellows, and I moved to a different rock, and that rock has become home.
Yep. I mean, I've heard that it's really like a difference of like just a couple steps that makes the difference between like catching just bullshit garbage and then just catching like a bunch of blues, yellows, and greens like every single time.
The best thing you could do to find a spot that could be a hot spot is to, I forget how you view it on the world map, but there's a thing that you can filter out like the terrain to like, you know, where water's a little more highlighted, and you just hit random spots of water, spend 5 minutes fishing. If you don't really get anything, move a little bit. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, you kind of just have to like,
said,
you kind of just have to go around and test everything. Like, yeah, like you just said, just spend 5, 10, 15 minutes. You can really get like a gauge of it from there. Like, you'll kind of think like, oh no, it's just RNG that I'm just getting a bunch of shit, but it's not that much of a factor because they're at these spots. There's like such a bigger chance of better stuff, and you'll just kind of know. You'll know immediately. You'll be like, oh my god, this place is fucking hot fire.
Yeah, there won't be any fish bones. There won't be any crap like that.
Yes.
You're basically either going to be getting legendaries, blues, greens, or like the relic crystals, or you know, keys basically.
Yep.
well, Relic Crystal Shards, you only get them from fishing if you're in a hot spot.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Huh. I did not know that.
Only get them from
Oh.
fishing if you're in a hot spot.
Oh, so that's another thing. Who probably thinks they got the most relic crystals in a single run? I got 4 in an inventory once.
I've gotten 5. I've
that
gotten
was
all
nice.
5 before.
I had 7.
Yeah, I got
you,
all
man.
5, and I was like, "Oh, I can organize these in a way. Let's make a plus sign. Oh, it's a plus sign with a plus sign on it. Let's click it." And I wasted 5.
I'm sure some listeners will be like, no, I got like 12, dude. guys are scrubs.
Show my bank in Calpheon with 32 in it.
That's a lot of money.
Wow, you only have
But
32 slots in your Calpheon bank? You suck.
To put a gauge to it for how much that I've fished out of our the G spot, as we like to call our secret spot.
G spot.
I discovered today that I have 256 silver keys in my Calpheon storage.
So I got to 50 and I just stopped looting them when I was manually fishing because
I don't know.
it just seemed like a waste.
They don't weigh very much and they stack.
Yeah, it just takes up one
I
spot.
understand that. I've got like 150 in my thing, but am I going to run into 150
I don't know.
boxes
You know
anytime
what,
soon?
Ben? I don't know.
You'll always
but
get one though.
I mean, I've ran into like 2 since like getting to 44.
I've ran into 4 or 5, and I haven't had any keys on me when I ran into them. And I haven't
I was
gone
about
back.
to say, Ben, this is like, the way MMOs treat us. You're gonna like just not get that. Like, you're not gonna actually obtain the keys, and then one day you're gonna find like the secret goblin treasure hoard with 250 chests, and you're only gonna have 30 some keys,
Right.
and you're gonna weep.
Just in case anyone wants to know, also, we've been playing MMOs since I think we all played Vanilla WoW, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you want to get technical about it, me and Will probably both started MMOs in Final Fantasy 11 when we were like
Dark Age. I played
13,
that, but I
14
didn't
respectively.
know.
Okay, I didn't play Dark Age, but I mean we were in the age range where we might have had the games, but we didn't understand it. Probably WoW in its vanilla release was like the first time we really kind of understood what we were doing for most of us. I would imagine.
Yeah, that was the first one I played with friends and actually had like the MMO experience.
Yeah.
And then what did I play after that? I think I played. It was either EVE Online or Ion.
We played Vanguard for a little bit.
Oh yeah,
We did play Vanguard.
I remember
We
that.
also had
Vanguard.
a pretty good stint in Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
That
I had
was
2.
the best.
Our guild name was once again Bill Murray, and we were pretty much the shit in what's it called?
Dat
Hut Ball.
Hut Ball.
Dat Hut Ball.
Yeah. And then that game kind of soured, and then we stopped.
I don't think the game soured. I think we just
Guild
beat it,
drama.
and we were done.
I don't know. I've heard
Oh
stuff
yeah,
about the game.
guild drama
becoming-
happened because people get butt frustrated because they don't get invited to the groups because they suck, basically.
Whoa, dude. Whoa, dude.
You can only.
Hey,
queue
you
with
were
4.
invited.
You can't spit
You
that
can
hot
only-
fire here, Ben.
It was this 4.
You could only.
These were the
queue
cool
with
ones.
4. So it's like, all right. Anyway, let's get back to fishing.
Yeah, let's go back to fishing.
Okay, we're not only gonna just talk about our fucking
Yeah.
hotspots and that those exist. So
Let's talk
the only-
about the gear.
Yes, the last thing I'll say about hotspots is that that's probably the most important thing to find fishing wise. It makes the biggest fucking difference. Without one, it's kind of painful.
It will feel much more grindy.
So let's
Eh.
move on to like maybe what should you definitely buy to like just start fishing?
So, obviously, you cannot use any rod except for the regular one
Yes.
until you are Apprentice 10.
And you get that from the otter guy at the docks on Velia.
Beginner 10.
He has
Beginner-
a little
Oh, okay,
quest you
it's
can
beginner
do too.
10. Sorry, I haven't used a thick rod in a while.
Yeah, beginner 10 thick rod. The steel rods
So-
are at skilled 5, right?
I'm just over here with my thick rod, just fishing away.
Yes, you are,
Thick
Ben.
rods for you young fishermen will be the holy grail. You will see a noticeable increase in better fish once you get to a thick rod. It's glorious. Also, all of us would recommend silver embroidered fisher's clothes.
Yes,
You
doesn't
can
hurt.
buy them off the marketplace. It's fishing level +1, movement level +1.
I think they're about 700, 800k last time I looked.
Yeah, I think I got mine for around 600. They might
600.
be more now.
They're
They'll
totally
pay
worth
themselves.
it though.
They will
Totally
pay
worth
And on top
themselves
of
off.
that, next week I'm going to explain how to make it yourself for 100k.
There you
it.
go.
Ooh, there you go. Fucking special
Speaking
right
of
there.
making it for yourself,
Yeah.
thick rods. I don't know if they're still
Oh, yeah.
super high demand and scarce, but
They are.
really
Yeah,
easy
I'm
to make yourself. Really, all you need is any one of the little copper nodes that you can just send a worker to, and a tool workbench to make the actual rod itself, and then you also need a mineral workbench to make the ingots after you heat the ore. But other than those things, you know, it's basically, I think, 50 copper ore if you have like absolutely no skills in processing to make one rod. And I think the total mats for it are like 1 ash timber, 1 copper ingot, and 3 blackstone powder, which you'll get doing any gathering thing.
Yeah, we'll look
But
it up.
it's obscenely easy to like make.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't have like a workshop that can craft this in Velia, I'm actually gonna cancel my fishing to look this up here for you guys.
I think they're all in
a
Heidel.
cool guy.
I think everything you need is in Heidel for those.
Well, actually, I did Calpheon for most of my things.
It is Heidel, and it's also Velia. Both of them have the shops necessary.
Okay. Word.
So there's actually a tier 3 tool workshop that will let you make all, if you invest in it and increase it all the way to tier 3, all of the items that you can use for fishing, all the way up to the Calpheon, like the Belnos, Inferior, or whatever, fishing rods. And it's in the first floor, number 1-4 workshop D in Calpheon.
Do that one more time.
I closed my map, so I'm going to have to go back, so hold your fucking horses.
Either
It would
that,
be-
or you don't need
The
it.
first floor, number 1-4, Workshop D in Calpheon. Which also, another thing I'm going to tell you guys how to make maybe next week, probably the week after because I'm fat and lazy, is the Noble Wagon, and you will need to get that particular location to get that workshop.
Yes, more on that next week then.
Probably not for a while, because as I said, I'm pretty lazy. But
Shut up, Ben. You'll do it, dude. We'll make ya. Okay. So, like, maybe we can give some general fish, like, area hunting advice, like where to maybe start looking. Like,
Northern Calpheon. There, I outed us. Get out of here.
okay. We'll say this. Our fishing hotspot is not at sea. It's
It is inland.
inland. Yes.
It is inland, yes.
It is inland, and it's near a trader, which is fucking bananas because we fill up a whole inventory, like quarter of it's yellowfish, and we just go there, and we've been power leveling like to max. Like it's scary how much we get like in a day, and we haven't been doing that the whole time we've been playing. We've only been doing it for like a week or two, like really getting into it. And William is already, I think, what are you, number 5 on the fish board right now?
It depends on who's online. Leaderboards don't show offline players.
Oh, I didn't know that. Neat. Well, you're up there.
But there's like a daily like tally, and it's like you're this rank kind of thing, isn't it? Or because I could
No,
have sworn I saw you with the number 4 above your head when I logged in this morning.
Yeah, now it's like a number
it's
6.
just whoever's online. If there's like, you look online right now, some guy is Master 2, obviously, just a mega basement virgin.
Oh my god! That oh my god was that
Damn, dude.
Master 2, nothing else.
Is that a
by the way,
challenge?
so.
Are you beckoning that
Wow.
man or woman?
The guy's name's Aaron too.
Okay. Well, moving on. Okay, so we've gone over what's worth crafting with fishing, kinda. Definitely rods, if you don't want to just like sit at a marketplace and just spam the fucking refresh button for the thick rod when you're starting out. Because it's easy. Just set them up. You can even just buy the materials to make the rods off the marketplace, because I think the stones, ingots, and wood are like pretty much always up there.
Yeah, but you're going to spend more on the materials to craft it
Yeah,
than
I
you
mean,
will if you buy it.
okay, if you're lazy like
But-
me and you don't want to set up your worker nodes to like mine all the materials and wait for them, then I just buy them. That's me. Maybe I'm not
Well,
efficient,
yeah.
guys.
I mean, you're gonna save time just crafting them yourself because they're not always on the auction house. At least, marketplace. At least at this point in the game. I mean, I'm sure at a certain point they're just always going to be available on the marketplace. But
Yeah.
for right now, I'm not going to call them a hot commodity, but usually they're not up for more than 5 minutes. Like somebody will buy them.
Right.
I have not seen them last longer than 20 seconds. To be real. Maybe it's different on any other server. We are on Orwin.
On Velia
rods
1
are-
mostly, if that matters.
Rods
at
are
all.
hot on Orwin.
Hot rods.
Rods are hot.
The steel rods are always up there, though. I just don't think
Yeah,
people. There's
that's
not
because
enough
it's
fishermen
only
out there,
us nerds that are skilled 5 and up.
though. Oh, dude.
The truly dedicated are skilled 5.
All right. Well, do we want to get into talking about classes? Talk
Oh,
about a lot of
yes.
fishing tonight.
So, okay, this game's not. It's been out since March 3rd. That's when it came out.
God,
Yeah.
has it been 2 weeks? What's happened with my life?
I mean, okay, there's all the guides online for every class, and
There is more to this game than fishing, we promise.
yes, you've probably read some of them, but maybe you'd want to just hear how a not master, like who wrote a fucking class guide, has to think about their stuff. But yeah, Paul, you can give us some wizard words.
All right. Yeah. I'm Paul. I'm playing a wizard. I'm level 46 right now, and impressions so far are wizards are absolutely incredible at AoE grinding, damage dealing, obviously. The skill paths, they seem pretty basic. Lightning chain, shift right mouse is going to be your best friend. That's your most versatile AoE. It hits off targets, it chains to other ones. It's easy to control. It does a lot of its targeting work for you, really.
Kind of just like point and destroy.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much the
It's
generalization
almost
of the wizard.
auto aim. Your ultimate, the ultimate I use is lightning, and
It
pretty
does
amazing. Meteor is going to be your other ultimate once you get to 200%. Meteor isn't necessarily the most practical ability. That might not be the most efficient, but it hits extremely hard. Good to use on big groups that you haven't alerted yet, that aren't aggroed onto you. You'll just you wipe them all out.
It kind of just has like a long cast time, right?
Yeah,
I guess that's the
the
biggest
2-second cast
downside.
time. Hits extremely hard on boss fights. You know, if someone else has aggro, if the boss isn't hitting you, it's worth using. Drain mana, siphon mana. Let's double check the name on that. Mana absorption, which is a shift left mouse. This is going to be your best friend. It will drain mana from an enemy target and give it back to you. Does about 2/3 of your mana bar. Starts out as 20% per tick, goes up to 30, and then 35, I believe. But mana absorption is going to be your best friend. It helps you. It basically keeps you going, keeps your mana up. I just missed a fish because I'm busy talking. But that's excellent. Also, I recommend Healing Wave. It's just going to be E. I'm sure almost every wizard has already discovered that. Healing Lighthouse, which is Shift E, it's basically the 3-wave channel of Healing Wave. Not a necessity while leveling up. It's a good utility if you're playing with other friends. But again, it's not something you necessarily need for leveling. I use Fireball as well, and Fireball Explosion. Just good easy AoE, extra damage after a Fireball, and also Lightning Storm after Lightning Chain. Excellent abilities, I love them. They do a lot of damage. As you level them up, they do more damage, and they do extra waves of attack. So good stuff. There's tons of other stuff as well. Earthquake hits very hard. Blizzard I'm not a big fan of, just because of the cast time and the channel time. Spell speed is something you can pick up. Sage's memory is cool, reduces the cast time on stuff, so you can kind of feel like a AP Palm Pyro Mage from WoW. And Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you ever have spare points, mind training is never a bad pick. Casting speed is your best friend. When it comes to gear for a wizard, obviously you're going to want AP, mana MP, and critical hit and accuracy. Critical hit is really good for you. You don't have a whole lot of down attacks, so crit will boost your damage a lot. Anything else I left out? I'm sure I did, but feel free to let me know what I messed up and we'll get to it next time.
What about, how's the wizard I mean, we haven't really done any PvP, but at least from what you've heard, I know wizards are fucking awesome at siege battles.
They're good at siege, and you have freezes. Frigid Fog is good. It's kind of like a Frost Nova. Has a bit of a cast time, and Freeze. Freeze is really good. It's just downright, and it's a little hard to aim. The projectile moves kind of slow, but it's just a single target cleave freeze. I think if targets are close to each other, it'll freeze them. But that's going to be your bread and butter for kiting in PvP.
Well, alright. Fucking warrior then. So...
This is the one I'm actually curious about, not to interrupt, because, like, what do you even do?
I'll attempt to tell you. So I'm only level 36. I have been just doing pretty much a little bit of like everything in the game. Like I've just been savoring the flavor. I haven't been power leveling to 50. So I won't have like as much of an in-depth look. But I can definitely give you a feel for like the general playstyle, and if you aren't playing this game yet, maybe help you decide. So first off, the first thing I'll say is the warrior, after your first initial levels, are gonna kind of like struggle in the whole grinding mobs game. You don't do the best damage early on. It's not as easy as like a ranger or wizard to like group up your enemies and just kind of fuck them all up at once. The only move early on you're gonna really have to do that is, I think it's called like ground strike, or I think it's called ground roar, or whatever shift right click is. It reduces their damage resistance, and then it pulls them all like together slowly into one little group, and then you're gonna do the move that you're gonna do for the rest of the fucking time you're playing warrior, which is spinning slash. That's just S and right click, and you'll just kind of do that until they're dead, and then maybe a couple forward slashes, which is just W and left click. That's, as far as I know, like the most efficient combo to just like level up and easily kill things while you're grinding. As for like gear and stuff, I've read a lot about what's best, and obviously for everybody the world boss gear is best, but that's expensive as shit to upgrade, and you're probably just going to want to start that adventure with something a little more, budget friendly. So I've gone with the Taratus chest and gloves, I believe, and then the Heave helmet and boots. And the biggest difference being the Heave helmet and boots, because it gives you HP. At the maximum level of your spinning slash, it gives you a percentage of your health as damage. And that'll hurt a lot, because you're going to have more health than everybody else. Maybe not a Berserker, depending on what they're like geared with, but I'm not sure about that yet. So, the things I have heard, the Awakenings aren't in our version of the game yet, but once that does happen for the Warrior, they're one of the best PvP classes, especially 1v1. I hear like Sorceress and Warrior are the best like 1v1 classes. Maybe Blade or two, but we don't have that. They just do a lot of damage to a single target, but they're not great at doing damage to multiple enemies. Definitely tanking. They're beefy. I can live for a very long time, but I'm not gonna hurt a lot. So if you want to play a warrior, all I'll say is just play with friends, because then you can kind of like help by grouping everyone in a tiny ball, so your wizard can then just immediately zap them or fucking fireball them to death. And then you can be like, hey, wish I could do that shit. And then you'll cry a little bit. But the one thing I'll say, warrior combat, at least for me, because I've only played a warrior in Black Desert. I haven't played anything else yet. Haven't made it all. The combat in terms of like just the flow and the abilities is super fucking fun. It's way fun. It negates all of the not doing damage because you just fucking spin around, you fucking drop kick people in the fucking mouth, then you spinning slash them while they're on the ground bleeding, and then they die. And it looks really cool.
The scissor kicks are real.
Yes, and your 100% Black Spirit ultimate move, it's spinning slash. It looks just way cooler than it does already. It's just a big fucking like wind scar or something like that.
Doesn't it turn into like a great sword?
Yeah.
Just
Oh, that's your
slash.
awakening. So your awakening for warrior is, yes, your weapon just turns into a great sword, and then you do a fuck ton of damage. Obviously, don't know that first-hand experience because it's not out for us yet, but I don't know. Those are my thoughts. It's really fun combat-wise. You're not going to do a lot of damage in the beginning. You really shine like in 1v1 PvP, and then when you get max level cap, of course, which is I'm sure the case for every class, but warrior especially. And then yeah, I guess that's all I have to say right now. I just have to like get more experience. I don't have all the skills yet. I just have my like tight combos that really just work for leveling, and that's all I try to use. I kind of just get carried away sometimes and just use all the abilities because they look tight, but they're not really being efficient, but they look tight, so, you know. Also, a lot of the warrior's abilities aren't really worth upgrading in the beginning because the other abilities you have, you should just spend the points for them. A couple of the not worthwhile ones I know of is the sideways slash move, which is just A or D and right click, and then counter, which is S and right click, is not the best. Heavy strike's okay in the beginning, but I heard towards the end it's just not really worth it over like forward slash and other things. Let's see, ground slash also is not the best, which is just S and E. The reason for that is just they just do damage. They don't have any 100% crit chance, which is the warrior's big thing. All of their like hard-hitting abilities just they crit. So getting like a crit ability or like a crit crystal or focusing on crit gear for the warrior is kind of like pointless. I don't know if it aids them in like a small amount, but I don't think it does. So I think it's pretty much pointless to get like crit chance. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me that if I'm just an idiot. But from all the things I've read,
I think you're an idiot either way. I'm just.
Shut up, Ben. All right, I'm done now. All right, Ben.
Speaking of Ben, why don't you hit him with some ranger?
Yeah, hit me with
ranger
some
knowledge.
fucking bow knowledge.
All right,
dude.
all right.
Fighting your fucking stockings, dude.
So I'm the Legolas class. I kind of do archer things. I'm gonna put in my bow to give you a little bit of a demonstration here. So, not gonna lie, I didn't realize how bad the first 20 levels were until I got an AoE ability, which would be Explosive Evasive Shot, which you use pretty much all the time for whatever you're killing after level 20, and it looks like this. Nope, I can probably pull my weapon out. Like that. It's a 180-degree cone in front of you. AoE does pretty high damage. Really low mana cost. You can do it about 8 to 9 times, which takes out just about most of the heavy units that you might fight. Definitely recommend investing in this as soon as you can. As far as investing a lot of points into it higher level, maybe not your highest priority, because overall, while it's great for pulling and killing the weaker mobs in the pull, the higher level mobs aren't going to take a whole lot of damage from it unless you invest a lot into it. And from what I've read and what I can see with my character so far to level 44, there's other AoE abilities in your arsenal that are a little bit more powerful. Specifically, your E is really big. I'm going to go ahead and pull up what the name of it is. And it's your Razor Wind. Basically, you're going to crouch down whenever you use this, and every time you left click, you're going to shoot an arrow that's going to cleave everything in front of you. As you get further down, the number of shots that you fire, they're going to do increasingly more damage until the final attack is like a guaranteed crit that does like a metric fuck ton of damage and knocks everything down. On top of that, combos are pretty easy with rangers. Most of them are going to stem off of your left click, which is your auto attack, and then comboing this with your left click holding the S button, which is going to fire like a more powerful version of your auto attack. This will consume your energy, or whatever the gray bar is here. I can't remember what it's called, so forgive me. As you shoot it, it will also do AoE. Now, after every successful S or backwards auto attack, you can either use your Q and fire basically an explosive round which will knock down enemies, or you can hold shift and right click, which will basically fire another AoE, and they both debuff, but they're different debuffs. Other than that, that's pretty much honestly all I use. You do also have your ability, the Descending Current. This is great in Siege Battle PvP when you get to it. It's also not bad for AoEing, although it's pretty hard to hit, I'm not going to lie. This one also is what's going to be your 200% Black Spirit spender. You basically channel it like this, you kind of pick which direction you're going to go, and then you shoot like a hail of arrows. And I don't have the 200% version yet, but from my understanding, you shoot a bunch more arrows.
This is a rec shop.
It hits really hard, even with just one point to it right now. The 100% Black Spirit spender is going to be your shift right click, which you can combo, but you can't use the Black Spirit version, obviously, when you combo it. Basically, you just channel this and you kind of hold it, and the longer you channel it, it's going to drain your energy, but going to do more damage when you release it. Small AoE cleave. The big thing you're going to know about Rangers is, other than your explosive evasive shot, most of your AoE is, in a pretty tight cone in front of you. So when you're grinding, you're going to want to use your explosive evasive shot to pull everything into a ball as you're gathering it, because you're pretty much untouchable while you're doing, a bunch of backflips like this all over the place.
Oh, so pretty.
Oh, so pretty. And once they're all in a nice tight ball, you just kind of hit E, crouch down, cleave them out like this. That's about it. If you've got like some bigger mobs in there, once you pull them to a ball, you might want to get some distance and then do the actual thing is called Descending Current, which would be your rain of arrows thing here when you decide to do it. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I didn't play a class before Ranger, but I didn't realize how bad Ranger was until Ranger got good, I guess is the way I can describe it. Approximately level 20, level 25, when you start getting points into explosive shot, or explosive evasive shot. The other ability you have is, as I kind of said before, is just evasive shot itself. While you're auto attacking, you can move left and right, and it's just kind of like every class has the shift movement ability, which is a dodge. This you can use pretty much indefinitely. I mean, your energy pretty much keeps up with it up to about 7 or 8 movements. At the higher levels, you can use it in the middle of certain abilities, like during your explosive evasive shot, you can jump up in the air, choose a direction, and then shoot that direction, like I just did. Big thing about Rangers is they're highly mobile. Final things about their abilities. Obviously, you're going to want to max your explosive evasive shot. You're going to want to max your E. You're going to want to max your Q, as these are your big combos that you're going to do. You'll find that when you're single targeting, you're just going to kind of dance around like this, weave in some of your Qs and your Es, your shift Rs, and finish things off with your E ability. Regarding gearing, heavy, or strength of heavy, seems to be the best gear so far out there. Multiple sockets in each piece, 2 pieces. Also gives a lot of HP. I think I actually have more HP than Will does in my full heavy gear. I have about almost 1200 HP.
That's some fighting words right there, dude.
That's pretty much it. I mean, you're highly mobile. You're pretty much combo based for single target. Your AoE is great once you get to 2025. I really highly recommend pulling the combat skill points that you do get into your E, your Q, your Shift R, and just kind of your auto attack and evasive shot. Evasive shot scales a lot now that I'm at the ultimate rank of it, as of level 44, or I think it was 42, I'm not actually sure. It's a lot of damage after I do it. I was kind of surprised, especially getting to a plus 12 Uriel longbow, how quickly I started shredding things, but it's pretty good. I mean, last night I was able to grind about 2.5 levels in like an hour and a half, just kind of casually paying attention in AoE grinding. It takes a while to get up there, and I know I'm saying that with a lack of experience in any other class, but I definitely noticed right around 20 that things changed a lot right when I got an explosive shot.
Shit gets real.
Yeah.
The grind gets real.
Well, I guess the best way I can describe it is Black Desert played a lot like a lot of MMOs before this, until I got like a real AoE ability. And then I really kind of saw where Black Desert's different.
Just speaking on that, there's been a lot of games that have like kind of tried this sort of combat style. The one I think of immediately is I think Vanguard, right? That was the one.
Vanguard was very, very stiff, though.
Yeah. It was like the first trial.
Vanguard tried to do what this was doing right now, but it didn't feel smooth at all. I mean, the biggest thing I can say about the Ranger class before I go back to fishing is everything is so smooth. Like when you're weaving in abilities through your evasive shots and your combos and your Qs and your shift right clicks and everything, it just feels very clean the whole way.
Yes.
I mean, not to go back to the Ranger, but like I feel like that's the thing for all classes is when you finally do realize like how your abilities are supposed to like mesh together.
Yeah. Once it all clicks for you.
Kind of situation. Yeah, it just the game feels so smooth and it's so rewarding when you're like killing a large pack of enemies, or you take down like a elite mob or whatever they're called in this game, like Swift or Cruel or whatever bullshit they fucking put on as titles.
And you're just like, oh hey, I'm a badass. Look at that.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Just the combos are so smooth. They just like go into they chain into each other very well, and there's even like animations for all of them, which just adds for that.
So many abilities in this game from all classes, not just mine, a wizard, are so visually satisfying.
Yeah.
Some abilities in this game just look so damn cool.
Yep.
Even on low graphic settings, which I play on, the game still looks amazing. And
Oh yeah.
I love it. I love watching some of my abilities. I love watching just anything else that looks cool, and almost all of it does.
Yeah, seriously.
If nothing else, this game is beautiful.
Seriously, just if you haven't played this game yet, just pick whatever class looks cool. It doesn't matter. Just fucking do it. They're all great.
Some are a little more difficult than others.
Yeah, some are definitely better than others. Like, I think right now the best like PvP class would be probably like a sorceress 1v1. Ranger's amazing. They're like no, because that's wrong. Because everyone's just has they have their shine in PvP differently. Each class does. Like obviously wizards fucking shine in siege battles where they maybe kill 10 people at a time and it's great and funny. Rangers, I've heard you'll just never touch. You won't touch a ranger. However, if you do touch a ranger, you'll probably kill them immediately. Correct me if I'm wrong, Benjamin, but I don't know. Warriors, similar to rangers, hit really hard 1v1, not great at fighting multiple enemies, but they have a lot of survivability. Okay, so William, fucking Berserker,
little Berserker knowledge.
Yeah, fucking hit us with it.
Well, Berserker really caps in terms of proficiency. I believe 8 to 9 weeks in the womb when the hand and fingers form.
All right, no. To be fair, you haven't actually put a level into that character that was earned through killing mobs since like 35. To be fair,
Will's been
37.
fishing. Will's been fishing for a bit.
But really, the combo does not change. I mean, I did as much research as I could into the class, and you spin, and then you dodge until you can spin again.
What's the spin?
You just hold down left and right mouse buttons.
and then you proceed to win?
Yes.
Is that how that works?
so you found Garen in a Black Desert.
Wait, so your class difficulty is 1 star?
I wouldn't even give it a star.
I think Wizard is 2 star. It's not terribly difficult. Dodging can get a little
Warrior, I've heard, is pretty hard to master, and once you do, it's fucking phenomenal.
But in
Like
reality,
every class.
the Berserker class suffers a lot of drawbacks, mostly in PvP, because it's more about grabs and slow casting or slow animation attacks. So, coupled with latency and someone with half a brain kind of moving around, you're not really going to land anything. You'll kill somebody if you can spin to win on them, but nobody's just going to let you sit on them and spin,
Unless you stun block them, I guess.
You
Well,
can, but your
unless your friends unlock them.
Yeah, but it really Berserker is just like the farming class. If you want to farm really easily late game or any point in the game after level 18, generally that's just what the Berserker does. You know, there isn't really a whole lot so much as skill combos and things. Like you can do dodges into abilities and abilities into dodges really easily. But like I said before, that's just all wasting time until your spin comes off cooldown.
So I've heard that like some people get like bored of the Berserker just because their abilities and stuff are very simple. And it's like the same thing. Is that true, or is it just fun?
For me, visually, they're so well animated, and like Paul touched on earlier, all the abilities are really visually just satisfying. That it hasn't gotten boring for me yet, but at the same time, I haven't really gotten to the early 50s and grinded for days at a time either.
You haven't got the catfish yet.
Really, none of us have gotten to that point.
Well, I mean, let's look at the levels here. I'm 44, Paul's 46. Like, I mean, my goal before the end of Sunday, we're recording this on a Tuesday, is to be 50. So,
I'll get there eventually.
Well, from all that I've read as far as like the end game grinding, like, obviously there's like the bosses. We actually are really cool because we have a good 4-man. We have Paul, who's damage and healing, 2, well, tank-ish people, and I'll be there to carry you guys. And we're pretty good for killing like those like 4 to 6-man bosses, which is like are the scroll bosses. And then there's world bosses where you get those boss gear things from, which are on anywhere from like a 12 to a 36-hour cooldown, if I remember reading correctly. And I don't know. I mean, like, those guys we're probably never going to kill unless we join a guild that's bigger than us or get a guild to take us through it.
No, dude,
but
we'll become that large. Maybe.
True. Maybe if you start paying your guild members, you'll get some members.
Shut up, dude. We're in the fucking slums right now, man.
We're on the struggle bus.
That's actually a question I have that maybe somebody can answer, and if they can't, then we'll probably edit this part out. How does our guild make money?
Missions.
Doing guild missions, and also just like doing your own thing. Like trading gives us, it doesn't give us a lot of money, but like doing little menial tasks, like professions, give you money, I think.
Well, I mean, like, just taking a look at
way.
like our guild contribution, like Will's, Jesus, at like 8,000. God, get a fucking life. I'm about 5,500. Paul's like 5,100. Is that like out of a potential total, or is that like I don't know. I mean,
No clue.
no clue.
And that's
All
what I
right.
like about this game, is a lot of it's a fucking mystery, and you kind of just have to figure it out, because there's not a lot of guides for the English version yet.
No. I mean, if you do enough Google research and you're a pretty logical person, you can find most of the answers.
Definitely.
But hopefully, and we're asking the viewers to help us with this, there are certain things you would like to know how to do, and if you let us know what those are, we will figure them the fuck out, and we'll talk to you about it next week.
Yeah, please. That's what I really want this show to be that way. We're just thinking of our own bullshit to talk about.
We're
guys,
here for you.
Yeah,
We're
you guys
Like
tell
how much
us.
Paul
guys.
sucks or whatever, but we're here for you.
Yes.
All
please,
11 of you.
Please tell us what you want to like have us figure out, or just like investigate for you, and we'll talk about it next week.
Obviously, we'll come up with some own guides of our own. Like, I want to talk about, how to make the profession gear, and I want to talk about how to make like a noble wagon specifically for trading, because that's how I see my end game. Oh my god, this is a Lego. Oh my god, 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 I got it.
What are you gonna get, baby? What are you gonna get, dude?
Tilefish.
Tight. I think I got one of those too.
God, that was the second fucking legendary I've gotten here. This place sucks shit.
I haven't gotten one, dog.
Back to my point.
Bummer, dude.
At the at Bill Murray Bluff, as I like to call it, we would probably be at full inventories at, what is this, like an hour and a half?
Yeah, we would have already gone. We would have already gone back. We would have already gone
I
back.
thought we called it G Spot.
We did.
Yeah, it is the G spot.
It's a
It's the
dude.
G spot of the pussy that is this game.
Well,
Well, like I don't know if I just like had a gift or something like not like that or whatever. Just I thought that was normal. I thought that was like where you were supposed to be. And now that I'm just like at lower tier, you know, G spot, if you want to call it that.
This is the commoner's fishing hole.
This is
Yeah, I didn't realize how good I had it.
well, let's get into some exit stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, our spot is just east of Velia. That's as far as you can go that way until you find water.
Until you find an invisible wall.
There's not
and
a
then you-
desert or an invisible wall over there or anything.
Don't be the dick, dude.
Man, tell us where your spot is.
Okay.
I would tell you guys, but everyone else thinks it's a bad idea.
Let's wrap up the first episode, because you probably want to hear us stop talking now. So, all right, goodbye, everybody. Yeah, please let us
Aye.
know what you want us to figure out in the next one, and then like, comment, subscribe, all that shit, if you
Yeah.
wanna.
like everybody else has said before. Just
But,
mention
yes.
something if you want us to go over it, or if you have any questions. We'll definitely help with that.
We'll get super specific
We'll
for
do some
you.
stuff.
We'll make a fucking guide for you, eh?
We'll be on the
God,
case.
I am so hot. Look at my legs. Look at this shit.
Ben, you can't fight in stockings. It's not practical, dude.
Bitch, I can fight whatever I want.
Shiny weeboo leggings out of here.
That's the attitude.
And I'm out.
Okay, goodbye then. On that note.
Goodbye, internet.